Well, as Boris Johnson was preparing to make his announcement that the country was going into a third lockdown, Liverpool found themselves a goal down within 2 minutes due to their former striker Danny Ings with a spectacular left-footed volley that looped over the goalkeeper Alisson Becker into the far corner of the net to give Southampton an early lead, and it was the only goal of the game. It wasn't a particularly fantastic, well, it wasn't a particularly great performance, to be honest, from Liverpool. It was a woeful performance. They never really looked in the game. Southampton controlled the game from start to finish, really. I have to give full credit to Ralph Hasenhüttl and Southampton because they performed very, very well in this game. They controlled the play, they dictated the flow, they never really let Liverpool get shots. It says it all when Liverpool didn't get their first shot and goal until the 75th minute. Actually on target. They had a few shots that cleared by the defenders or went wide, but Liverpool. Southampton won a soft free kick early on through a foul through Thiago Alcantara. Soft, really. Armstrong jumped in front of him, fell on the floor. Whether it was a free kick or not, I don't personally think it was, but it's one of those. Liverpool were asleep. Ball played in behind Alexander-Arnold, who gave the ball away 38 times tonight. That is the most a player has done in the Premier League this season. He was really off it tonight. The ball played in, he was asleep. Danny Ings peels off the back of him, left-footed body, loops over Alisson into the far corner of the net. And before this game, I predicted that Danny Ings would score, unfortunately, because, well, he's one of these players that's a quality player, and he scored against Liverpool last season at St Mary's, and I just had a gut feeling that Ingsy, the former Liverpool man, would get a goal, and he did. He's a player that I have much respect for, lots of respect for, Danny Ings. He's a quality player, and part of me just wishes he was still at Liverpool. As regards to the rest of the game, I thought certain players, it's Liverpool drew the last two games of 2020 and never really looked convincing in any of the games. They were off the pace and they never looked like they're trouble in the side. And I know we've got players that are injured, we've got defensive issues, we've not got any really senior centre backs. I know we've got Nat Phillips and Reece Williams, but I wouldn't class him as first choice centre backs or senior in Reece Williams' case, because he's only a youngster coming through and played a couple of games. I don't think either of them are good enough to fill that void. I think we need to buy centre back this January. Botman been linked, but according to James Pearce of The Athletic, it's just agent talk. I think with Liverpool, they just seem to struggle. They lack that creative spark. Ox and Thiago come in. They've not started a game in months, either of them. And this is Thiago's first start for the club, so he did struggle a little bit. He seemed a little bit off the pace. Obviously got booked early on for his second foul, straight after Southampton kicked off again after scoring, and was probably fortunate not to pick up another booking, you could argue, because he just kept making little niggly fouls every now and again. Wijnaldum was non-existent for the majority of the game in midfield. Henderson, I thought, did okay at centre-back. But the centre-back pairing itself of Fabinho and Henderson, neither of them are centre-backs, but I thought both of them did okay in that position. Trent Alexander-Arnold was at a pace. Robbo was slightly better, but still picked up a needless booking in the 15th minute. In terms of the forward three, Manny was the better out of the three. I thought Salah was off it again. Personally, since the rumours of him wanting to depart the club, he has not been performing to those high standards. He's performed really well against Palace, and then the rumours come out, and he hasn't been performing well at all. Firmino, he works hard for the team, but doesn't always get the credit. And I thought today he was unlucky with a few opportunities. As regards to Southampton, they had a solid game plan. They took the lead early on, sat back, caught Liverpool on the counter a couple of times. Walcott, if he was better with his decision making, he could have had a couple. Valerie was unlucky in the second half when he came on as a sub. When he came through, played the ball through Alisson Becker's legs, who had to come rushing up because the defence was that high up, and Valerie's played on and just cleared space. And if he got a bit more on his board, Southampton would have had a second. I think Southampton were worthy of the win, and when Rob Hasenhüttl dropped to his knees full time in tears, the passion of the bloke showed what it meant to him and what it meant to the football club. And to be honest, as regards to the football club, if you want to win the title, you can't be performing like this, regardless whether it's home or away. The away form has gone back to the way it was a couple of years ago. It's appalling, and you can't be performing like this if you want to win back-to-back titles. You can't. If you want to be champions, you can't perform like this, and I'm disappointed in the performances. we've got Villa away in the FA Cup on Friday, and Manchester United at home on the 17th of January, and we need a big performance there, because Manchester United have the game in hand against Burnley, which I can see them winning, so I can see them going 3 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. So as regards to that match on the 17th, it's a big game in the shape of the early stages of this title race and for Liverpool's season.